We are going to make it right.
If you became a millionaire, would you keep working? You know?
The commander is here.
What's going on right now is California's trying to figure out.
Don't eat.
Something got popped in the butt.
Oh, I can.
Oh, Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, everybody. Is DZ here? That is right, folks. How are you doing? Hit that like button right now. I'm about to faint from the excitement. Today is June. I don't even know what month it is. Today is July 12th, everybody. It is 11:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We started a little late, but Tim, he had to move the goalpost on when we were going to start. So we started 60 seconds late. But guys, we're all here. I am truly one of the 7 wonders of the world, and I'm wondering why you haven't hit that like button yet. Do it. Do it. Let's get it into triple digits within seconds, folks. I think we can do it. Ben is still in Seattle. I think is the All-Star game tonight, Tim? You're the sports guy.
No, the All-Star game was last night.
It was last night. Okay. You're the round ball watcher. Okay, so it was last night.
I don't like the way you said that and the way you looked at me while you said that.
Okay, you're the one who lives vicariously through other men's jock straps.
To be fair, my favorite sport is an egg-shaped ball.
Not
not a round
ball.
ball.
Good old pigskin, American gridiron is what I like to call it. Because there's only one football, and that's soccer.
Ben, I think, is going to try to call in again. He's in the airport, like, as we speak. So he's going to be calling in based off of, he's going to try to get through security first and then make sure the Wi-Fi is good. But he's hoping to call in today. You know, as far as your first comment about moving the goalpost, I want the record to reflect. That's the kind of talk of somebody who realizes they've already lost. So you got to come up with an excuse as to why you lost. So yeah, let's just say Tim keeps moving the goalpost, and that's the convenient excuse.
See, you're saying I'm the one making excuses. I'm just hearing excuses on why you move the goalpost. But anyways, looks like is that the guy from? Yes, it is, Sage. Yes, it is. That is the same one. Much energy. Very surprised. Wow. Okay, we have Radio Face typing in Korean / into English. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. No, we're both going to leave. It's Tim and me. We're going to leave together, and we're going to leave after we pump the market single-handedly, like Atlas, carrying the globe. We're going to carry the Bitcoin crypto market everywhere. Tim, the tool man, Taylor. I don't think his last name's Taylor. Everybody. All right, we're adjusting the camera.
I don't think they see that one.
I could do some calf raises.
My wife's name is Taylor, so that would work for Tim the Toolman Taylor. Let's see. Yeah, that's more centered. That's good. We're good.
100 points for DZ for clarifying the mindset of men who watch men in tight pants. Okay, yeah. Look, I stole that saying from Todd Rosenbaum, so that was a shout out for Todd. Living vicariously through other men jock straps. All right, everybody, make sure you're fair.
You live vicariously through cartoons in a video game form. So,
how so? What are you talking about?
So it's to each his own is what I would say.
What are you even talking about? I don't even watch cartoons. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Me and you watch Animaniacs before the stream, and then we watched some gargoyles. We watched some gargoyles. We had a little gargoyles marathon session last night. All right, everybody. No, Bitfrog, no, never. I am a lover. I'm anti-violence. All right, make sure you're a sub. You should see the D at the end there. If not, make sure you're sub. 40% of y'all aren't sub. What are you doing? Go ahead, hit that sub button. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, DZ_BTC. Guys, we're still at 42,300. I am ashamed of this number, okay? We need to get it up to 400. I'll feel a lot better about myself, and I'll stop waking up crying. All right, hit merch. We got some new stuff. There's the All Madden Sports. There's the Druth shirt, as I like to call it. It's the Don't Tread on Me. And I also like to come and take it. Come and take my Bitcoin over my dead hands. There, let's get it like that as well, Blockchain Basement. And we're going to see you later, everybody. It is Bing Bong, not Billabong, not the surfer company, not the bongs that you smoke. No. This is Bing Bong. That's just the moniker of a winning trade is what we like to call it. All right, let's go to CoinGecko here. We are up 1% until I hit the refresh. Is it going to go higher? Is it going to go lower? We don't know. I'm scared. Are you scared?
Lower.
We're all scared. It went lower. It went lower. All right. Well, Tim, we didn't do what we were going to do. What I said we were going to do, and that was pump the crypto markets. What can we do to pump the crypto markets?
I think I heard somewhere that the more four-fingered mittens that are pressed on a show, the higher prices get in the crypto market. At the moment, 278 mittens have been pressed.
Okay, that's a decent amount.
So,
Safe Moon, wind turbines, I couldn't care. Bless. I'm unable to care. No, I don't know. I mean, sure, but aren't wind turbines like real bad for the economy? Aren't they like very inefficient? Don't they kill a lot of birds? And they're just an eyesore as well.
Yeah.
Bend over and give me this ball. And, all right, so okay, he played center. That was a former center. It was a former center in football there. And me and Tim are having a good time. I'm sorry if it came off as adversarial. We get along quite well. We're hamming it up a little bit for the. Why are you glaring at me right now?
I don't know why people want us to hate each other.
When DZ
It's just
stares
good
at the chat, he
conversation.
has the most terrifying face I've ever seen. All right.
yeah.
All right, anybody. Let's look at the crypto market cap here. We are up 0.5% for Bitcoin, everybody. That's a little bit. We're still above 30,000. We're coming in at $30,675. ETH flirting with 1,900. The next stop, I heard it has to get to 1,900 before it gets to 2,000. I've yet to confirm that for myself. We have it up 1.3%. We have XRP flat as heck here. Lido staked Ethers up a little bit. We have Solana up 3%. I have a phone call from a telemarketer probably saying, "You owe me money for your broken wrist. Too bad. Too bad." Now, I'll pay it eventually, okay? I got to wait for the bull run, everybody. That's when I'll pay that medical bill. Also, if you wait a long time, then they're more likely to settle. Life hack. All right, we keep scrolling. Solana up 3%. Like I said, Litecoin, you think of Litecoin, think of Tom Crown. It is up 0.4%. We have Polygon also flat, but they have had a pretty good week. You see they're up 10%. As well as Bitcoin Cash up 10% and is up 4.5% just today. Let's all get the top gainers. Let's all think and visualize. I want you to think of your portfolio when I hit this button, and your favorite coin is going to teleport to the top gainer of the world, guys. At least of the top 100 coins, that is, minus Hex. All right, we have Conflux up 8.3%. That was you. You with the big bag of Conflux. You did that. You did that. What's her name? I was going to guess a name. Terry.
Jordan,
TJ.
Yeah.
Something like that. Terry Jordan. I don't know. BitDAO is up 5.9%. Theta is up 5%. We have Bitcoin Cash up 4.3%. Like I said earlier, Stacks up 4%. Aave up 3.7%. Axie Infinity up a little bit. And Caspa. Did I miss the Caspa boat, Tim?
I don't know. I'm not invested in Caspa, so I don't know.
Medical debt is bunk. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only one that has a little medical bill. I've never had medical debt until then, and I don't like it. I probably will pay it off.
Did you know, fun fact, that hospitals and like doctor's offices, they have like this fund of money just for the people that don't pay the medical bills? And my friend did this. If you call them and tell them I cannot pay the bill, they will negotiate your bill with you and be like, if you owe $10,000, they'll be like, well, can you pay $5,000?
Yeah. Nick Demondi in the chat, he rules with an iron fist behind his cool sunglasses. Some say, why does he wear sunglasses in the morning? Some say, what is in that orange juice? I don't say that. All right, let's look at the top losers, though. We have Mina Protocol. I might try to get in on that one a little bit lower as well. I can't remember what my entry point is, but I've heard from a billionaire that this is going to be big next bull run. That's all I know, folks. I don't have any inside info on that. Stellar is down 2%. Maker down 2%. Really nothing is falling too far because 2% seems to be the highest. And then shortly after that, we're flat and then into the green. So nothing looking too alarming at the moment, though. We have some mod on mod crimes. We don't want that. Here's the thought, pay your bill. Glenn, I will. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, let's move on to the stories. Are you ready for the stories? Anything you want to share, Tim? Oh, wait.
I think we're supposed to do charts first.
Oh, yeah, we got this. I heard we have the phenom of the charts.
We do.
What do they call him? Does he have a nickname?
I think Mr. Calves.
Mr. Calves. I like the candle maker.
Instead of Mr. Krabs, he's Mr. Calves.
Mr. Calves. I just call him the Italian stallion. All right, it is Frank himself. Frank, how goes it? Hold on. I am barefoot, everybody, before everyone's like, oh, Frank's so much taller.
It is true. DZ is taller than me. I'm not afraid to admit that, but it is a little, does hurt hurts my feelings a little bit when every time I come up here, Tim has to get up and adjust the camera. That does make me feel a little,
no, you're good. Look, we're good. Look, that's
look at
that's
that.
a good frame.
Guys, me and DZ are, did I say he was taller? We're the same height, guys.
Yeah.
What are we, 6'3"?
Yeah.
Yep, 6'3".
Okay, you got shoes on.
Yep. There we go.
You can take the toilet paper out of your the heels of your shoes later. It's
Tim, I thought I told you that in I thought you were gonna keep that. It's okay. Anyway, guys, don't worry about what Tim just said. It's not important. But yeah, anyway, definitely 6'3". But guys, it's funny. A lot of people, I started my channel in the bear market, and a lot of people were like, hey, man, that's like a rough time to start, a YouTube channel. And it actually wound up being an absolute blast because we made money shorting Bitcoin all the way down and the altcoins. But I'll tell you right now, I kind of feel like I'm in a bear market right now because Bitcoin is so boring that it's like a bear market for YouTube content, right? It's really hard for me to get on my live stream and do 2 hours of TA when Bitcoin's been going sideways for like 20-something days. So Bitcoin is a bit boring right now, guys. However, I'm going to show you some things, and there are a lot of mixed mixed signals as well. Are we going up? Are we going down? Crypto face isn't a long. Usually that's a pretty decent sign that we're going to get a move. But, you know, there are a lot of mixed signals on the chart right now. And, but I kind of want to go ahead and take a look at the Dixie real quick. I'll just go over Bitcoin. Key levels remain the same. And guys, don't forget, our chart section is brought to you by BitGet. If you guys want to sign up in long and short your favorite altcoins and Bitcoin with or without leverage, go ahead and check out BitGet. I'm sure Tim will drop that link in the chat. And I'm sure it is also in the link in the description. But shout out to BitGet. But guys, obviously, we have just been stuck in this sideways range. Absolutely brutal. Now, it does make for some really nice short-term scalping. We've been scalping this in the premium Discord, and we've been doing really well. However, things are starting to get pretty unclear at this point. We're getting a lot of mixed signals. We're still within the range, but it's really hard to kind of analyze this range and figure out if we're going to break to the upside or the downside. I am bullish on crypto right now, guys. I'm more bullish than I have been in quite some time. We have the weekly money flow crossover into the green, which is usually an extremely bullish sign in the long term. It's really just that short term that's getting really hard to read. Are we going to get another short push to the downside before we get a leg up, or are we going to get some kind of a short squeeze to the upside? I will say this, if you look at CVD, it does seem that if you analyze this range on something like Exo charts or Coinalyze when you're looking at CVD, throughout this whole range, guys, it does look like there is more people shorting than longing, which could indicate that we are getting all these pushes to the downside. We could be seeing a large whale absorbing all of this selling pressure to the downside, filling up a large long order, and that could wind up pushing price to the upside. But I do want to really hammer home here. Things are really unclear, and I'm kind of neutral right now, to be 100% honest with you. I was leaning a little bit more bearish, and as price action develops, it is just getting more unclear and more unclear. But I'm basically just day playing this range. And, you know, if we break down, hopefully I am in a short from up here, and if we break up, hopefully I'm in a long from down here. It's kind of the benefit of trading the volume profile ranges. But because Bitcoin's so boring and so unclear right now, I will say this, fundamentally, I do think Bitcoin and just crypto in general is like more bullish than ever right now. So in the long term, I do think we will eventually break these highs. It's really the short term that's kind of hard to read right now. But what we could do, guys, is we could shift our focus to something else, such as the DXY, or the Dixie, as some people call it. And obviously, we have gotten a little bit of a dump here. And I used to look at the Dixie every day. And then I actually haven't looked at it in a while on my stream. And over the past couple of weeks, we've actually been checking in on the DXY for one really specific reason. And it's on the weekly chart, or on the weekly time frame. If you look at this weekly money flow, guys, this is cruising to the downside. I actually showed this, I think, on my live stream last night or maybe the day before. You know, this money flow on the weekly is about to cross over into the red. Now, this is historically very bullish for Bitcoin. As you guys know, Bitcoin does move inverse to the DXY. And every time we see a money flow crossover into the red, I actually did this on my channel, I believe last night. So we pull up the DXY on one side, and then we pull up Bitcoin on the other side. I'm actually going to go ahead and hide the indicators just so we could show you guys here. So we have the weekly chart on the DXY and the weekly chart on the on Bitcoin, and you can see here typically when you get these money flow crossovers into the green on the DXY, as you can see right here. Obviously, the DXY goes on a big run, but what was going on Bitcoin, we were basically topping out as that money flow was crossing over into the green and coming into the bear market. And then obviously, when you flip that upside down, the opposite usually happens, where if you get the money flow crossing over into the red, which I'll actually just show you guys right here on the weekly, you cross into the red, and you can see my cursor on both screens here. That money flow crossover on the red on the weekly for the DXY basically was the very, very, very beginning of the parabolic bull run of 2021. And we are in a very similar situation right now. Now, again, a similar situation to, about to cross into the red on the weekly for the Dixie. And again, like, it doesn't really indicate, like, as soon as we cross over into the red, we're going to get an absolute moon for Bitcoin. Like, if you go back here and look at it, you can see last time we crossed into the red here, we actually crossed into the red, and it wasn't until, like, I mean, I could try to measure this real quick. It wasn't like we got the crossover right about here, and then it wasn't really until took about 133 days, right, to actually get that real parabolic bull run to come in. So it's not going to be an instant reaction if we do see the same thing happen. But overall, in the long term, similarly to the weekly money flow crossover into the green on Bitcoin, just in general, like these things take time to play out. But this is one of the big reasons why I'm extremely bullish on Bitcoin right now. This is part of the reason why I do think that the bear market basically is wrapping up here. I do think it's more likely than not that the bottom is in at 15.5. But this is looking pretty good, guys. That DXY weekly money flow looks really bullish for Bitcoin, and especially that we're kind of getting the confirmation of the weekly money flow crossover into the green on Bitcoin. You know, when this has happened in the past, it has indicated more upside for Bitcoin. Now, again, that does not mean that we can't get short-term noise to the downside in the short term. But overall, guys, like over the next few months, it does look pretty bullish for Bitcoin. But yeah, seeing this Dixie kind of dump and looking at this money flow just looks really, really pretty. Other than that, guys, Bitcoin has just been super, super, super boring. Just waiting for this range to break. Playing that range I just showed you guys. I'll just give you like a couple of key levels, but they really all remain the same. Your key level of resistance at this point locally would be your, let me come down to a lower time frame. Your key level of resistance locally would just basically, I would look at your value area high of the range, which we are rejecting today. That is coming in at about 30,740. This has been the level of resistance for over almost a month. So yeah, that just remains the same. And then your key level of support is coming in at about almost 30K, even about $30,050. If we start losing those lows, I would start to look a little bit lower. 28.8K is actually going to be the serious, like this white box right here. I think I drew this white box last time I was on. Between 28.8K and about 28.5K is really the massive, massive level of support. If we do get a move down, the value area low is going to be your immediate level of support. But if we make it all the way down here, guys, this is really, if we're going to get a cool off before our next big leg up, this is kind of the area where I will be looking to get into some bigger swing longs, in hopes of cracking these highs and coming up to much higher prices, such as 33K, 34K, and potentially beyond. So those are the levels I'm watching right now, guys. It's really just basically watching paint dry right now. So just hang in there. Hopefully we'll break this range. I mean, even the CPI news didn't really give us much volatility. Just really, really boring here. So just praying this range breaks to the upside or the downside. But like I said, we be longing and shorting these volume profiles. So whatever way it breaks, likely I will be in a short from the top if it breaks down. And we're in a long here with the premium Discord, which is continuing to play out. So if we break up, shout out to the premium Discord because they are in at the bottom. If you guys are interested in checking out our free Discord or our premium Discord, you can check the links in the description of any of my videos. And I think it might be in the description of this video. I'm not 100% sure. But with all that being said, guys, that's all I got. Back to DZ. Pray we break this range, hopefully today, sometime soon. That's all I got. Back to DZ. Bing bong.
Bing bong. Who broke Twitter? You, Red Man. It was you. Did Frankie say slongs? I don't think he did. I don't think he did at all. You're making things up. All right. Shades of paint. Delicious. All right. How about people used to have paint with lead in it? How crazy was that?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
It was the last good content that Neil deGrasse Tyson made was I forget the show's name, but they had a pretty good few good episodes. The lead paint or the lead in the atmosphere episode was really good. What did the lady see on the plane? She crazy. Lizard person. Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler's winning it. Sorry, I'm sucking on ice here. You have the little hole.
Yeah.
My ice cubes have shrunk.
Yes.
Below the size of the hole.
Yes.
Now I'm like getting blasted with ice cubes.
I have a mug like that. I drink if I wake up in the middle of the night and need water, and yeah, like you're like super
you're like swallowing like giant.
And you go to drink
pills.
water, and then you're like choking in the middle of the night on these little ice cubes.
Hey, but you only choke as long as it takes to melt. So like you don't have to like wait too long. You just have to be able to hold your breath for like 30 seconds, and then you survive. Fun fact: I actually almost choked to death off a hard cornflake. Not like crazy hard, just like
that's intense.
A cornflake. I was 4 years old, very, very alarming.
Yeah.
And my mother, I remember her panicking, just looking at me, panicking. And her friend actually ended up giving me the Heimlich maneuver. After that, I don't eat cereal anymore. But after that, for the next 15 years, I could only eat soggy cereal. My brain didn't want crunchy cereal after that.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you never wanted cereal in general, soggy or non-soggy. So
how do you feel about
traumatic.
milk? Pasteurized and all that stuff. I'm lactose intolerant.
Okay. People on here have said, let's just get this out of the way. people have said Tim was sheltered. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Yeah, Tim was sheltered.
Were
Tim
you?
grew up in a homeschool Christian community, right?
Okay.
And I had friends. Don't say I didn't have friends. I had friends. But my mom was one of those moms who, and I love her, by the way. She's a great mom. We had issues, but we're good now, and I appreciate her as my mom. But she believed that her job as a woman was to do nothing but teach her kids, which is great. And we made our own bread. We bought the milk that sat on the container had to say, this is not for human consumption. I grew up very, very all natural.
Okay.
Very all natural. And so, yes, I was sheltered. Everybody.
Is that why you have 11 fingers?
It's not the fingers, it's the toes.
He doesn't. It's toes, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the headlines here. I know people are waiting. All right, we'll get into it. Crunchy cereal week AF, I believe that too. All right, Bitcoin, Ethereum trade flat as the June CPI report clocks in at 3%. Leading currencies rose slightly following the figures, which indicate that inflation continues to cool, everybody. Continue to trade flat at roughly 31,700 on Wednesday after the June inflation data, reflecting a CPI increase of 0.2% and a yearly increase of 3%. Ethereum also faced a minor gain there as well, 1.3%. Meanwhile, core CPI, which discounts food and energy, due to their known volatility, rose just 0.2%, which is the smallest 1 month increase in that index since August of 2021. I like how we're going back 23 months. This is the lowest it's been in 23 entire months. I guess that's a good thing. Since March of 22, the Fed Reserve has rapidly risen its policy interest rate in a mission to bring inflation back to its 2% target in the U.S. after peaking last June at 9.1%. While we all know it spent several months in double digits. I mean, we saw how they were playing with the data. Oh, food. Well, it's only going to be, this much of the inflation pie. Oh, cars. Well, cars are going up. Well, guess what? We're going to shrink the effect that cars have on core CPI and all these things. It was just a lot of massaging of data. I think we all know inflation was 10% plus for several months, maybe even half a year or longer there. All right, 2-year treasury yield tumbles after June CPI is less than expected. It slid 14 basis points. The 10-year yield fell 10 basis points. Yields and prices move in opposite directions. 1 basis points, of course, equals 1/100% there. Gensler has it with the 50%. Tim, were you first born?
No, I tried to respond. It wouldn't let me respond to it. I'm third born of 5. I'm the middle child. I was the troublemaker.
Okay.
I was not different than the stereotype. I was the troublemaker. I did find out though, I wasn't that bad of a kid compared to my younger siblings. It's pretty solid. My baby brother, he tells me stories of high school, of what he did in high school, and I'm like, man, I might have been a saint compared to some of the things he did.
Anything you could share, or is mom going to potentially hear it?
Oh, I think she's heard. I mean, he's just experimented with a lot of things that I never experimented with.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, I never did anything too crazy in school. I remember we had like 2 days in the entire time I was in North Carolina that it snowed. One of the days was a school day. And I remember throwing snowballs in all the hallways. And I remember you could see a bathroom door open and you could chuck it at an angle where it'd go over like the little brick wall. Because the wall so you can't just see toilets. They had a little wall that didn't touch the ceiling. And so you could hit it at an angle. And then, I remember I did hit someone in a stall, I think.
Our yard had a, what do you call it? We had like orange trees and stuff. What is that called? Why am I blanking on this? I don't know why. Anyway, we used to throw rotten oranges over our fence and try to hit cars driving by.
Okay.
That was the trouble.
Yeah, you're a little hellion there.
Yeah.
All right. Back to what are we talking about here? The 2-year treasury yield and the 10-year yields. Markets are widely pricing in a rate hike from the central bank at its next meeting, and policymakers have indicated that this may not be the last rate increase of the year, depending on the data. Investors also be following remarks from Fed speakers, including the Fed President Tom Barkin and the Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari for fresh hints about the policy outlook on Thursday. So we're going to wait for the remarks, assess the details. It looks like 25 basis points. I think that's what the prediction markets are saying. We'll see if that ends up playing out. All right, crypto investment products see massive institutional inflows as Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP products lead. XRP's on the list there. Last week saw $136 million flow into investment products, marking a robust period of growth over the past 3 weeks. Total of $470 million reported in digital assets during this period, offsetting the outflows of the past 9 weeks. So it looks like we had 9 weeks of outflows, and now we're flipping green. Now money's starting to come in. Products betting against Bitcoin, meanwhile, saw did see outflows, while ETH investment products saw 2.9 million of inflows. So this is betting against Bitcoin there. Other notable altcoins, so Solana, XRP, Matic, Litecoin, Aave also saw inflows. Atom and Cardano, minor outflows there. So not looking good for the Cardano folks like myself. Okay. Slap the like for DZ and Timbo. Thank you, Raul, with the blue name. So when you're a mod or a super sub, it's just a little bit easier to see your name there. So thank you very much. Damaging innocent people's cars.
Yeah, well, and
shame.
we had we literally probably 3 or 4 times had the cops come talk to us, and it was we'd wait like 6 months and then we'd do it again.
I had the cops
we
come
didn't learn
after
very
me at a bus stop in 10th grade.
Yeah.
They watched us and they put me in handcuffs, put me in the car. I don't know if you guys want to hear that story of what we were doing at the bus stop to garner police attention, and they gave us a warning and then showed up the next day and put me in the car. I don't know. You probably don't want to hear that story. Anyways, all right. Tokenized U.S. Treasuries surpassed $600 million as crypto investors captured TradFi yield. So it looks like effectively lend $614 million to the U.S. government via different tokenized treasury products. So we're seeing the real life tokenization of assets. With the big Fed moves and all the hundreds of millions and the billions that are moving, they are starting to tokenize. So it isn't just a fad. If they're like, Bitcoin, isn't that just for scammers? No, tokenization is a real movement that is happening across the globe here. All right. President Xi Jinping advocates for CBDC expansion. Wait, he wants more control with this fiat? No way. This man wants more control. There's no way. Reported in January that there's 13 billion digital yuan CBDCs in circulation, accounting for about, about 1/1000th of their monetary supply. So we're not looking at a huge 1/10 of 1% there is basically what it's making up. During the speech, Xi expressed his appreciations for Iran becoming a full member of the organization and praised the inclusion of Belarus. Looks like they're talking about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit there. Belarus, one of 2 places that didn't shut down for COVID there, the other being Sweden, I believe. He also emphasized the importance of CBDCs and proposed expanding the use of local currency settlements among these countries, fostering cooperation, sovereign digital currencies, and establishing some of these development banks, similar to what we do. In another development, it was reported that Chinese consumers would soon have access to a SIM card linked to digital yuan. And moving to Hong Kong, the cost of obtaining a crypto exchange license has skyrocketed to 100 million Hong Kong dollars, which comes out to 12 million, according to a report by Tencent News. So they're going to want big players to come in, not just, random NFT project on the altcoin chain. So this is going to be big institutional players. Some teams have relocated to Malaysia due to the lower costs and favorable conditions, and several exchanges have applied for licensing in Hong Kong, including Huobi, OKX, BitGet, HashKey Pro, and Gate.io. So seeing a lot of basically acceptance of CBDCs, acceptance of crypto, and acceptance of blockchain technology happening across the globe with all these global governments. At the same time, BlackRock's starting to signal, hey, we have interest in a Bitcoin ETF. Is all these things happening at the same time on purpose? I don't know, but is it spelling a bullish outlook over the next 2 years? In my opinion, it is looking very bullish, everybody. Can you explain how Bitcoin mining improves grids? Yes. So when you have a energy grid, you do a thing called flaring. You have excess energy. I'm making 100 terawatts because that's the maximum anyone would need at any given time. Well, right now, only 70 terawatts are being used. What do I do with the 30 terawatts? I burn it off. I flare it off. Well, now what we can do is store that energy as Bitcoin and then trade amongst other entities. So then, you know what? Now we no longer have to operate at 100 million. Now we're going to reduce it to 80 on the off chance we spike to 85, 90 terawatts. I'll buy it with the Bitcoin that we mine from someone else who has excess. So basically, no one has to, everyone can have a little less excess. Therefore, you have, just less harm to the environment at the end of the day. All right, Senators Lummis and Gillibrand to unveil updated bill classifying crypto assets as commodities. Bitcoin famously, has been signaled by the powers that be that it is commodity. We need to get some other cryptos involved too. They want to apply 90-year-old legislation to regulate and treat crypto companies the same as banks and stock exchanges. Of course, talking about the, I think it's 1932, how we test there, 36, something like that. The report, citing a person with knowledge of the act, explained that the new bill would require exchanges to store customer funds in third-party trusts It would also prevent internal trading by exchanges using their own funds or tokens. So no internal trading like what we saw allegedly at FTX. America is already way behind the rest of the world in regards to regulation. As a result, an exodus of talent, innovation, capital is already underway. Yeah, everyone's moving to Singapore, moving to Hong Kong, moving to Dubai. America will be left behind if our policymakers and really our voters don't start demanding a change or wanting a change. I want to change. I might put my dollars where my mouth is. Maybe we'll look at that at the CT minute. There's another candidate. So people say, you always talk about this guy on the left. I'm going to tell you about the new guy on the right. I'm rejecting DeSantis on the right, Tim. I'm championing a new guy for the right.
Who's that?
I'm not going to say. Only at the CT minute, brought to you by Stake. So we're gonna have to wait. When the grid needs electricity, the state pays the miners a fee to turn off. Still get paid a percentage of what they make, and the grid gets all that electricity. That's a different way of actually doing it, Crimson Caravan Company. So that is a way of more companies with miners. I'm talking about more companies like power companies exchanging amongst other internal power companies, because a state might have multiple. Move away from later. All right, let's move on to the next story here. Tucker Carlson tells Andrew Tate it would be easier to create a fake crypto like FTX to steal billions. You'll be sort of a hero. Yeah. Essentially, I've listened to part of this interview. I haven't listened to the entire thing. Have you listened to this yet?
No. It's an interview of him talking to Andrew Tate, or just talking.
Oh, he flew to Romania.
I have not seen
Tucker
this one
flew to Romania. Yeah, it just dropped yesterday.
Dang,
So Andrew was, detailing the crimes, and this is his way of describing it. Romania has accused him of luring women to come over to make TikTok accounts, and then he'll gain control of the money that TikTok account makes and force them to continue to make TikToks as he keeps the money, which, is a man that is independently wealthy. Maybe now I see what they're trying to say. They're trying to say of like, well, that's vaguely kind of connected to what we think is a crime. But as a court, you have to actually produce meat and potatoes. And so it looked like the TikTok angle was maybe the only real meat and potatoes that they could produce.
So they're accusing him of hiring women to create social media content.
Yeah, using the lover boy method from outside country, come there, create, because the court documents list specific activities, and it was specifically creating TikTok accounts.
Was he paying them, or was it
he's keeping the money allegedly.
So he's not giving them a single dollar of it.
I don't know about the percentages there, but he was just saying how ridiculous it would be because I am independently wealthy. Yeah. I have this money generating business that I don't know what his paid Discord thing makes. It's tens of millions.
I don't know.
So then Tucker, in response to, that's how they're saying you're making money. Tucker then said, wouldn't it just been easier to commit a massive financial crime and defraud people of billions? Come up with a fake cryptocurrency, call it like, I don't know, FTX, or just give a name to it. Steal billions, get your parents involved, and buy a bunch of real estate in the Bahamas, and then you'd be sort of a hero, right? I think that was a good summation of what Sam Bankman-Fried and his parents did. It's clearly, kind of pulling a little metaphor saying, hey, we got similar situations. Wouldn't it have been easier to just scam people via crypto versus this TikTok empire that you're accused of making? I know he's a very polarizing figure, so I try not to come off as like he's bad, he's good. I think just everybody has some good in them, some bad in them. It's the duality of man, everybody. All right, let's see. Let's move on here. Google hit with lawsuit over the new AI data scraping privacy policy. A week after they updated the privacy policy to allow data scraping, the company faces a class action lawsuit. How dare you scrape our data? So basically, getting a little lawsuit there. It's not looking great for them. This AI stuff, these large language models taking on all this info, is totally changing the way the internet works. That's why you saw Twitter limit the reads that you can do. And a bunch. That's why you saw the Reddit mod revolt happening. We're going to see more examples of that in the near future. But I think we have Ben, everybody. I'm looking for my earphone.
Okay.
All right, we're good.
Is the audio okay?
The audio is better than yesterday for sure.
What's going on?
Okay. Let me. Yeah. The video's very bad though, huh?
How's
the video?
If you're more still, maybe we notice less. But the audio is good.
Sure, I will be still. That's me pretending the audio is not working. All right, guys. So, you brought up an interesting point. We were talking about Andrew Tate and Tucker. Oh, look, it says Frankie Candles. Guys, I'm not
No,
saying this
man.
is- I would just like to say that.
It's
for
just
the
because you
record.
have strong calves.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think, I just want to be honest with y'all. I think my calves are better than Frank's. I think we should have a calf off.
I think you should put that
We
photo
should.
up on Twitter and let the people decide.
Yeah. Well, so I can tell you, like, after just talking to like a bunch of randos about crypto, here, because whenever you get in a conversation with anybody, they always ask you, "What do you do?" And then I get into it and blah 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 blah. But I think that what's interesting is, one of our somebody we ran into at the All-Star game and started talking to them. The first thing he said was, "Oh, I hope crypto recovers after that. What was that guy's name from that FBZ F? I said FTX. He said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, Sam, that's my friend." So, people still have Sam Bankman-Fried on the mind, and it's weird that, by the way, we got our publish date for our book,
Nice.
Catching Up to FTX, which it will actually be out the same exact week that 1 year before FTX collapsed. So it's going to be in stores on November 14th. Of course, the collapse was, I think, like November 9th through 10th or something like that was when it was really going down. So, and we touched on this briefly yesterday. People really don't understand, unless you've been watching this channel since then, how hard we went at, Dan Friedberg and also the parents. And people need to understand that, it's starting to come to light now that FTX is suing Dan Friedberg. So the bankrupt company is suing Dan Friedberg, who is their compliance officer, who is also involved in the largest poker scam of all time. It was $40 million. And now we know for sure that Joe Bankman, Sam Bankman-Fried's dad, was the one who specifically hired Dan Friedberg against other people's wishes. People did not want to hire him, and he did go ahead and hire him. So we've got Dan Friedberg hired by the parents, which lines up exactly with what I've been telling you guys the whole time, which was the parents were the puppet masters, Dan Friedberg, architect of the entire scam. So we need to do a video when I get back, a video about that, where we go back and show some of the things that we've been saying for the entire. People are going to find out that we knew more that was going on than even the government knows still about what. And we had a guy who was basically detailing. This is so crazy. This guy was detailing the entire lawsuit of FTX versus Dan Friedberg on Twitter. He put out, like, I think 14 tweets in a thread, something like that. And he never once mentioned the fact that Dan Friedberg was the lawyer of Ultimate Bets, which was the largest poker scam of all time, $40 million. And we look at the FTX model and we say, okay, well, they're missing like six to somewhere between $6 and $50 billion, depending on how you want to count it. When you count all Alameda's investments, including BlockFi and companies like that. So you look at, $50 billion, you say, okay, well, $40 million isn't that much. Well, I'll ask anybody in the audience, how would y'all feel if I gave you $40 million? You would feel good about it. So I think that, it's just one of these things where this FTX thing just continues to come up, and we continue to find out more and more and more. And people are just not as interested in it as they were before, because obviously the immediacy of it is gone. And I do want to say, I talked about this at my meetup the other night here in Seattle a good bit, which is I now believe that FTX is going to relaunch. For a long time, I thought it wasn't going to. And I now believe almost 100% that it's going to relaunch. And it's going to be, I think BlackRock would buy it, or someone large like BlackRock. They'll rename it. And I guess, at the end of the day, it's not a bad thing, I don't think. I actually think that it can relaunch and it can be successful. Why? It's going to be a totally different company ran by totally different people. You could certainly BlackRock's owning it, then, obviously you're going to look at the same traditional elements getting involved in it. We're there with Sam and his parents and Friedberg and all the rest. And yeah, that's not good, obviously, just from a decentralization standpoint. But, if you've got different taken on, what are they really buying? Well, they're buying all the licenses that FTX had, the money transmitter license. They're buying the infrastructure. They're buying the accounts. They're buying all the email addresses that they have on their email list and things like that. So, ultimately,
I would
if it
actually go
launches
one
with a
further.
different name, it's different people.
I would say they're buying time so they can get all of these licenses and these money accounts before the bull run. And so, maybe they could do it the traditional way. Might even be cheaper to do the traditional way, but then you might not get clear till 2025, Just by then you lose all the money that you could have made off retail.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's definitely a time limit on this, considering Bull Run is getting ready to go on. So Tim said my audio is getting rough. Is that true? Is this a little better? I took it off Wi-Fi.
A little bit. It's largely fine. And then I would say another thing, they're going to market it as, guys, the kids are out and the adults are in charge now. It's okay. Nothing to worry about here. You know, don't worry about any kind of weird commingling of funds of political parties. Don't worry about any kind of missing funds. Everything's fine because we have John J. Ray and the adults in charge. That's my guess.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. A guy who's in charge of the Enron bankruptcy said he never did anything this bad, and yet they're willing to reopen it. So it just has a lot. Okay, well, my audio and my video is getting rough. Guys, I can't believe it's 2023 and we don't have service that can help with a live stream. Like, it's so insane to me that
If someone
we
knows
just
of
can't
something-
have interviews.
Yeah, if someone knows of something we could send with Ben on these trips, like, because I guess we've tried basic ones, like the more
None of it works.
common ones.
No. We try very, very advanced. They just don't work. They just don't work. Hotspots don't work. Wi-Fi extend when you're at an airport. So it just sucks. It's rough. I wish I could call in more. Like, if I'm at a hotel, and even that Wi-Fi has proven not to be great. So it's kind of ridiculous what year it is, and we still are having problems with connectivity on the internet. That's why when people say, "Oh, we're in the wild, wild west of crypto," guys, we don't even have Wi-Fi that works all across the United States. Still in the wild, wild west days of the internet. I say it all the time, and people don't really realize it. So I'm going to jump off. Wish I could talk more. I don't want to mess up the show with my bad quality here. So I will talk to you guys later.
All right, and Ben, if you see someone at the airport, just let us know if that person is real or not.
Yeah.
Well, I met this lizard guy, and we were talking, and he told me. Have you guys seen the guy's response? Who was supposedly the guy on the airplane?
Yeah.
He seemed real.
It's pretty wild. So,
Uh,
yeah, he did. All right, guys.
right.
See y'all later. Bye.
Later,
See
Ben.
ya.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah. Was he real? Was he not real? Who knows? I'll tell you what is real.
Chat thinks it's
Schizophrenia.
Gary.
Say what now?
Chat has voted overwhelmingly. It was Gary Gensler on that plane.
It was Gary. Okay. Well, I just thought it was a guy with, maybe dilated pupils, maybe just a weird energy, maybe just a vibe that was a little bit off. Takes infrastructure money while that mobile signal. USA is really behind, being left behind in tech. Yeah, I would say I'm sure there's. All right. Well, there's an issue with America. I don't want to say there's an issue. We have a non-condensed population relative to other countries. So when you're like, oh yeah, Japan's mobile is just so strong, they have a very high concentration of people due to their mountainous region. Then you're going to see similar things in other countries. So we're so spread apart. That's why we have such a commute culture. So part of it is logistics. It's not just mostly ineptitude though. All right. Why do you guys? All right. That was good. Was that an AI video of Ben? No, it just, it's just the TSA. We'll blame the TSA. That's what it was. Did that man have a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce? What'd you say about Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce? All right, let's move on. New York prosecutor charges hacker over $9 million exploit of Solana-based exchange. I don't know if this is going to have all the fun details, but this was the Crema Finance or something like that. Let's see what we got here. Former security engineer for international technology firm. Some say it was a Amazon contractor. I don't know. He did have Amazon on his LinkedIn. Has been arrested and charged for allegedly using a smart contract bug to steal $9 million from a Solana-based DEX. Let's see. The first ever criminal case involving an attack on a smart contract on a DEX here. Let's see. We get some more of these details. I wanted to get the name of it. It's like I don't want to say it incorrectly here, but yeah. Eventually, he stole the money, and then here where the story gets a little bit crazy. Similarly, he did message them saying, "Hey, I'm actually a white hat hacker. I will send it all back to you, except let me keep $1.5 million. I'll send you the $8 million, because I'm a good guy, right? Just let me keep $1.5 million." Shortly after he did that, though, he also started Googling. I don't know if this story has it. Yeah. If you read the notes, you can see he Googled, "Can I cross a country border with crypto?" He Googled FBI DeFi hack. He Googled how to buy citizenship. He Googled like all these bad things. And then he also Googled, can a VPN hide my whereabouts? Like all these dumb things. Fact check. Yeah. Use a VPN, FBI with the warrant. They will get your IP address. They will contact that company, and that company will roll over and turn you in. Okay. Unless you happen to know like the cool one that no one knows about, but you're not going to find that with a Google search. You're not going to find that with like, oh, let me just type in something on YouTube. Oh, it popped up. That's the one that I can use that CIA can't hack. No, you guys, all that is being watched and monitored by 3-letter agencies there. So yeah, if you steal something, don't use Google. If you kill somebody, don't Google, how do I bury a body and get away with it? How deep does a body need to go before it doesn't stink? Don't Google those things, folks. You got to go to a library and use. I'm just kidding. All right. Anyways. Ethereum gas fees take welcome plunge. Man, I just sent some Tether today. It cost me a bit, so it looks like gas fees are down a little bit, but let's look at what they actually are. 45 Gwei. Yeah, they spiked a little, then they're down a little. Nothing really crazy there. Ethereum TPS transactions per second boost. Starknet Quantum Leap goes live. It's a L2 that's trying to, up TPS, just like all the other L2s. I don't want to get too deep into this one. It's Starknet if you're interested in that. I think they have some potential airdrop activities you can participate in. I know Johnny loves it. Let's see, 2,515 people watching, 688 likes. We're almost at 690. Let's get there. Two more. We just need 2 more
692
people.
is what I see.
All right, we got there. GT3Z. DZ is crazy. No, I'm pretty. I got a level head. I think I'm normal. Maybe I'm a little on the Aspie side, but that's okay.
A little crazy.
It's hard not being that when you grow up in a toxic suit that's called America.
But listen, genius is crazy. So like you got to have that crazy in you to be genius like DZ.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just, maybe not an idiot. That's what I'll
Everyone's
say.
genius. Everyone's
quote,
genius in their own way.
Maybe not
DZ.
an idiot. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said everyone's genius in their own way.
Well, are they? You ever read Johnny Got a Gun?
No, I've not.
It's an anti-Vietnam War book where,
yeah.
medical industry, maybe it was World War I, came out during Vietnam, and medical industry, like they're experimenting on cadavers. You got like the Queen's guy who's like cutting up old prostitutes and stuff. And so they didn't know how long a person could stay alive. So this guy had no sight, he had no hearing, and he had no ability to talk. His bottom half of his jaw was ripped off. He's literally just a vessel. He also had no arms and no ability to walk. But doctors kept him alive as an experiment. And he ended up just like tapping to communicate. It was very, very bad. So, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't get the point of the story talking about genius. What was the?
Oh, you said everyone has something, genius.
You said everyone's genius in their own way.
But what about the doctor that did that?
There's such a thing as evil genius, DZ.
Okay, I'll give you that. DZ to Snowman, we do like young Jeezy. I'm sorry, he's just Jeezy now. We have BJ, our resident medical expert. Was it the Johnny Got a Gun reference? Do not bring up Johnny Got a Gun. It's a dark book. I actually quit reading it like 70% of the way. I was like, man, this is just too much, folks. All right, are we ready for the CT Minute brought to you by Angus Steak? Darkness imprisoning me. All I could see, absolute horror. That was it's Metallica. One song was about that. I totally forgot that I actually saw Metallica live thanks to Hit Network at the Allstate Arena, or whatever they call it. Great show. Lars Ulrich still got it on the drums, folks. I swear to God, I thought I was going to be able to see a drummer behind him, like actually playing. No, Lars got it, baby. Lars still got it. All right, let's get into the CT Minute. I got some likes that we're going to show. I actually got some tweets for you today. NFT Alpha, they hit 1 million, folks. So big, just big. Let's give them a little.
Yeah.
Let's give them an applause there. 1 million views for NFT Alpha. Good job, Taco. This isn't against Kamala Harris. This is more. I was just a big fan of the show Veep. and it is a side-by-side comparison. If you ever watched Veep on HBO Max or Max or where the hell they call it now, fantastic show. It just shows what a farce that American politics is. Very, very funny, very joke dense. So don't just like casually try to watch it like the 18th time you watch The Office. Very joke dense. Highly recommend it. But yeah, that is a very good supercut. Here, bro's been walking like he had that plan already in motion. You know, it's just I try to show y'all some funny internet videos too. So yeah, that guy, he took off like a rocket there. Took off like Bitcoin's price. We always talk about, you know, the hypocrisy of our officials. Well, in Spain, you know, I'm sure we got some Spain people or people are Spain adjacent. Spanish climate minister flies on a private jet to an eco conference, gets out of a limo, and then 100 bikes before the venue rides a bike for the cameras. I think Pete Buttigieg did the same thing. Here is my new endorsement for a Republican candidate. It was going to be Ron DeSantis. I feel I heard an assessment about him months ago. I didn't believe it. They said the first time you hear or see him, you're impressed. The second time you see him or hear him, he's meh. And I was like, nah, man. But then it's kind of rang true for me personally. I can't speak for anybody or everybody, but you know, for me, it kind of speaks to me personally. And I am now, you know, because Ron, he's like, yeah, you know, we're gonna do this thing with insurance companies in Florida and our teachers. He's just, I don't know. But this guy, Vivek Ramaswamy, he asks, just has 15 questions for the FBI director. And, you know, whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat, I think any politician who would ask these 15 questions is someone who has my support. I'm not going to go over all 15 questions. Really great stuff there. Rocking the crypto taco. Thanks for the junkie. Yeah, taco did a little giveaway. Just want to show a little love there. Thank you for calling. Please hold for a minute. This music effing sucks. That guy. Just put a little smile on your light there. Chronic blue light exposure induces early puberty in male rats, as well as reducing reproductive parameters, including sperm quality and testosterone. So think you hit puberty sooner, but you have a weaker puberty. You have like a half eunuch, you know, but at 11 years old instead of 13. But then when they're 15, they don't really have as much T as they need. Well, according to a recent study, children now spend up to 8 hours in front of a screen absorbing blue light. So we have blue light destroying puberty in male rats. But what do? We put children in front of blue lights 8 hours a day. So just be mindful of your children's screen time.
This explains a lot, DZ. It explains.
So just be mindful of your children's screen time. You know, you see Alex Becker. He's like, it's 4 a.m., 72 injections and pills, 8 hours of red light therapy, cold plunge, 7,000 push-ups, and it's only 4. What have you done with your life? Red light is also from the giant orb in the sky. So you don't have to buy some like, you know, weird tech bros dungeon and have like some red light therapy where you're like spinning in it. Like, oh, you come out, you know, sunshine shown where the sun don't shine. And no, you don't need all that. You can get it from the sun, folks. So good stuff there. And this interview, you know, we kind of talked about that interview before. Depending on what you feel about the guy, I think it's worth hearing him in his own words. All right, whether you're a critic or a fan. All right, a couple tweets here. Sweeping, okay, yeah, 1 Hourglass. They got the show coming out soon, September 7th. We like George. Do you like George? Are you George? Are we George?
I do like George. I like George. And we're all George, to be fair.
Yeah, we're all George. Yeah. He was a great guest on ATB. Maybe we get him back. I also got Brian and Leia Halpern. I think I said that correctly there. Sweeping my favorite catchphrases. Those who don't know, the JPEG Junkies, you can buy it on jpeg.store. JPEG.store has NFT rewards. The season started a day ago, I think. And so every NFT you buy, you're going to get, you're eligible for an airdrop on JPEG.store. It's a Cardano NFT marketplace. Me, I bought some JPEG Junkies and I'm sweeping my favorite catchphrases. All 6,000 have a unique catchphrase. None are repeated. You know, we try to go with the art. And so, hey, you know, I did some digging, found some funny catchphrases. We were talking about mankind. Hell in the Cell is the greatest moment in mankind's history where he plummeted, was it 16 feet through an announcer's table? And then we're going to end it with this. This is DZ's version of pineapple on a pizza. I talk about Dan Go's account. You know, it's just a good fitness account. Anyone else eat kiwis with the skin on? You? Dude, people mad at me about it. I eat kiwis with the skin on.
Yeah.
Taco put me onto that. Yeah.
I mean, you know, like pretty much every fruit, that is where the majority
Yes.
of the nutrition is going to be coming from.
Yeah.
The inside is for taste. The outside is for nutrition.
Redman saying, junkies, the floor was 50. Looks like it was 42 yesterday. Looks like it increased 20% in 24 hours. I should have bought them yesterday. Am I someone's exit liquidity? Maybe. I don't know. But you know what? I'm a long-term believer in the project. We're changing up the DAO. And oh yeah, one quick thing about the junkies, and I'm done talking about the junkies. We have a thing where we have an internal coin, not on chain. You can get it in the Discord. Every tweet, they give you coins. You could do one claim a day. I think you can get up to 30,000 a month. So I think it's 1,000 a day. So pretty cool stuff there. If you want to tweet about the junkies, go in the Discord, show it, and they give you some points there. Do you eat kiwis? So we're going to put it in the chat. Do you eat kiwis with the peel? Yes or no? Yeah, and not bananas. We eat, or vitamin C. Like, I mean, I'm not going to eat lemons or oranges.
To be fair, there's a lot of nutrition in banana peels. I don't eat them. I'm not that crazy.
There's THC in banana peels.
Orange peels.
Yeah,
like,
you get high from
orange peels are really good. What was another one? I don't know. But yeah, like there was something like there were certain fruits. It's like there's actually nothing about the inside of the fruit that's actually good for you at all. It's only the peel that's nutritious, and you'll see the animals eat the whole thing.
Absolutely nothing, and only it's just inert matter.
I'm just talking about a story I read. Easy. I'm not trying to be an expert on the matter.
That story you read, that was a Facebook hippies post.
I don't know.
You know what? People don't like it when we have
remember.
animosity. So you know what? That sounds right. Yeah, there is nothing nutritional
complete
besides
agreement.
the skin. It is just inert material that does nothing.
To be fair, are you saying there's not things out there that are nothingness?
Not fruit that are edible for humans. I don't know. It's got to be something, right? It's got to be some carbon element. It's got to be some nutrient. There's got to be some sort of something there. Unless it's a bag of air. All right. You know what? Let's pick a coin, everybody. This is a crypto show, not the DZ Tim hour. All right, cryptos. This is going to be pick a coin. We got 3 coins. I also want you to type in what of these 3 coins you want. The 3 coins are Solana, Polygon, and ICP. What of these 3 coins? You can only buy one. You got to hold it for, whatever, a year, 2, a day, whatever you want. Which coin do you choose and why? Well, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look at the market caps. So we have a $9 billion market cap, rounding up to a $7 billion market cap, and then a $2 billion market cap. I do know ICP was heavily manipulated to the downside. So to me, that's a point in its favor there. I do have some Polygon. I do have some Solana. I don't have any ICP, so I probably would buy ICP just to diversify my investments there. $4.11. What was this weird all-time high that happened that first day or week that it was out? It was really, really high. Yeah, 400. And so I talk about the normies, the new wave of retail. Sometimes I meanly call them the fresh wave of idiots. I was that idiot. Maybe you were that idiot. Maybe you're smarter than me. You were never an idiot. I think there's going to be some number of, not sophisticated crypto investors coming into the space. And so one of the first things you do as a noob is you look at the coin price. Oh, geez, Bitcoin's in thousands of dollars, but this one's only $1. It must be better. It must be a better investment, right? Oh, this is, then you get to the next level where you're like, look how many zeros there are. Can you imagine if this goes up to a penny? I'm rich. That's the noob level. There's another noob metric that has some basis of reality or some tangible, metric you can point to. Well, it does something. This metric is what was the previous all-time high? You're not going to find the world's best traders, banking on a bet like, oh my God, the previous all-time high was this. The coin must go there. But noobs will. The normies will. The fresh wave of retail will. And they're going to look at ICP. And they're going to say, holy crap, during the bull run, which is like a term that they learned 2 weeks before, during the bull run, that coin was $400. Now it's $4. I think I have 100x on my hands. And so they're going to buy a bunch. And guess what? It probably won't hit 400. It might not hit 100. It might not hit 50. Maybe it hits 20, 30, 40. I could definitely see it $40, which is a great gain, guys. People kill for 10x's, but people are going to buy it banking on 100x. And for that reason, I feel it has this perfect storm of normie-friendly narratives that's going to pump ICP, plus people who do know the tech like the tech, people who have met the team like the team. The smallest market cap, meaning the highest potential for a large upside move. Me, I'm going with ICP out of those 3 coins. What do you guys got? Looks like ICP. A lot of people like ICP.
I would
what do you
say
choose?
the easy loser was Solana. I mean, very few Solana choices. It was pretty neck and neck. And obviously, I'm going to have to generalize this because I didn't keep a running count because there's a lot of them. I think Polygon Matic had a couple. I think it had more than ICP. They were neck and neck. Both were there, but I think Matic a little bit edged out ICP.
Okay. All right. Yeah, a lot of people Filecoin. Yeah, I do. Shorting Microsoft, have a long on Bitcoin, still up. Okay, all right. Interesting. 5-10 years, ICP will 100x easy. Crypto Soul, just be careful when you're 100% certain of a 10-year prediction. That is, a lot of variables are going to go in this path, right? You're at the starting point, and then we're looking at this end point that is 10 years from now. And guess what? There's going to be multiple forks. And by the end, you're going to have to navigate a correct sequence of 87 turns. You take one early left turn when you're supposed to take a right. Guess what? It doesn't 1000x. It's a 200x. It's a 100x. It's a 50x. It disappears. So just be careful when you're like 100% certainty. 10 years from now, X, Y, Z is going to happen. I would just be a little bit careful there. All right, just general advice there. All right, are we ready for a little XRP section brought to you by Stake? I think so, right?
Yeah.
Do you hold some XRP, right?
Yeah.
When's the last time you bought XRP? For me, I think it's 2021.
No, I didn't buy any way back then. All my buys have been within the last year. When was the last time I made a purchase? I know when the next time I purchase is. My next purchase is going to be, again, about a week or so after the lawsuit ends, because I'm predicting a dip to come. And that'll be, again, I think once that happens, we'll never see those types of prices again whenever we start moving back up. But that's my XRP thought.
SBF 9J, I think he will touch Sol some more, by the way. Okay. 10 years impossible to predict, and they will pretty much be all wrong. Yeah, with the specific things, maybe some generalities we'll get right. Matic partners are huge. Yeah, I definitely agree. I asked Bard which coin to hold, Cardano or Solana. Answer Cardanzo. Okay, that sounds about right. All right, bad news for Ripple, brought to you by Stake here. Library judge passes ruling on if secondary crypto sales are securities. We've talked about the library versus SEC case and its implications for the Ripple versus SEC case. The SEC lawyers are going to look at anything favorable from the library versus SEC case and say, see, this is the legal precedent, so you got to agree with us. They may be holding a breath a bit longer after the judge refused to rule on if the secondary sale of library credits constitutes a security. So refusing to rule on that case there. The ruling may have offered legal precedent to the fellow judge for the SEC versus Ripple. John Deaton, representing thousands of token holders, contacted or tweeted that he contacted Barbadoro to seek clarity on if the library tokens constitute a security. Barbadoro ultimately decided to uphold his judicial restraint, meaning, hey, I don't think I should really come out and say A or B. The latest opinion is an about turn from what he concluded in a January appeal hearing where Deaton persuaded him that the secondary sale doesn't constitute a securities offering. Judge clarified in the appeal hearing that it's only considered a security when the sale is made directly. So not on like a centralized exchange or decentralized exchange. SEC also admitted the secondary market sales don't constitute a security. So it's looking good. So that is one of the bullets that the SEC was going to use. And it appears that the judge said, nope, I'm taking out all the gunpowder from that bullet.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're going to shoot a blank. So the more blanks they have, the less damage Ripple's going to have, and the more likely they're going to be coming out of this unharmed. So we all want XRP. Regardless of your feelings of XRP, we want Ripple to win for the entire space as a whole. So I'm definitely rooting for Ripple and against Dirty Goldman Gary.
That was quite a FUD headline that makes you think everything's doom and gloom, and then you read the article and it's like,
Tim, no, there's a question mark. There's a question mark. Show the headline. Oh, wait, you can't even see it. Oh, there it goes. See, there's a question mark. So, so you saw like that. Bad news for Ripple. Okay, I got you. All right, do we have a little Q&A? How can a case last this long for XRP with no end in sight? Something good or bad? Well, just expensive cases last that long. WWE versus WWF took like 20 years, 30 years. So yeah, when there's big pockets, things could take a really, really long time. XRP will be fine with or without a favorable ruling. A favorable ruling will help it tremendously, though. Pulled 6x profits from Matic last year, XTZ and Atom. Okay, good stuff there. I was thinking XTP. All right, like Vet, it's all pro bono, costs the crypto company money, not the other way around. All right. What is a bin whale? I don't know. What is that? We need numbers. We need to come up with some numbers for that. We need to make a graphic.
About it. Yeah. I don't know. I'll
This makes you a bin whale. This makes you a bin shark.
Well, I guess I think you have to start with what percentage of the total supply do you need to own to be a whale?
Well, you just copy the Bitcoin. So whatever they need for a whale, divide that 21 million, divide by that number.
Well, okay, I think there's a combination there. There's a question of what percentage you own, and then also how much money you're worth. So it's like there's two questions: how much money needs to be the minimum you hold?
I wouldn't go with money. I wouldn't go with money. It's
so I could have
metrics.
like theoretically speaking, in a coin. I'm not talking about Ben coin. I could only hold like $100 worth, but because it's so like that could still be a whale based off the number of coins. I think I would feel like
no. I would say if you have $100 worth, but it's $1,000 market cap, yeah, you're a whale. If it's $1 billion market cap,
we are just gonna go with percent. All right, so yeah, we don't have the answer right now, but we'll
I have the answer.
You do.
I have the answer.
Of course,
you figure it out by percentage of coins owned, and you largely look at the Bitcoin metrics to see what they have for whales. But then you also have to make it normie consumable numbers. So you can't say, well, a Bitcoin whale has 0.24%, and when we do the math, it's 438,592,000. You would then just round up.
I know
to
that
a normie friendly.
I know
number.
that Bitcoin whales. I mean, there's been different definitions, but like let's go with a higher version of it. 10,000 Bitcoin would make you a whale. If you own 10,000, that's a very small percentage of the total supply. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, so if someone owns like 0.1% of Bitcoin, they're a whale.
0.1 let's see. So if you had 1% of Bitcoin, you would have 210,000. That means you would have 21,000 Bitcoin. I would say 21,000 Bitcoin makes you a whale. So yeah. I would say 0.1% makes you a whale. Yes. All right. Raul San Miguel always has the answers. Yeah, sometimes they're wrong, but always have a answer. Sometimes I have to pull it from, the previously mentioned Sun Don't Shine area. But hey, it is an answer. And more often than not, I'm just speaking from a point of putting pieces together. I think we're all just trying to put some of the same pieces together. I eat, sleep, breathe this. So maybe I see an extra piece or two. And, maybe I obsess over it a little too much. So I'm making some extrapolations.
A Bitcoin whale owns 0.00. Well, okay. A Bitcoin whale owns 0.05% of the total supply.
Okay. So
roughly,
1/120th. So one. Okay. So 1/2000th of the supply is the math there. So 1/2000th of the supply, and you are a whale. So okay, all right, that sounds about right. Master DZ going to the dojo. No, that's the JPEG Junkies karate trait you're thinking of. Why is Timbo always that? Dang, I'm sorry, Tim. There, DZ bringing the heat like a flaming Cheeto. No, that is what my HVMTL looks like. It is literally a flaming Cheeto NFT there. DZ seen some life. Hey man, I've been around, and I can tell you shit's brown. And this ain't going down. All right, I don't know. I'm sorry for the cuss word there. Thoughts on XTP, next bull run? It has the normie friendly stuff where it's like crypto app where you can easily buy Bitcoin. People are going to want that, just not today. They're going to want it about a year from now as we get the new wave of retail. This is what we're going to call it. I'm going to stop saying idiots because that has a negative connotation. I'm trying to be more positive. I'm trying to take lessons learned from Top G to be a real Top D. And you know what? That comes with just being a good man. Being polite, trying to be sympathetic to people's issues, and just being, just overall a good, agreeable, fun person, and maybe throws out a compliment or two. You know what, Aaron Cruz, you're looking good today. Will Cardano be okay? I bet you're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. I'll never become a whale. Bitfrog, it's okay because you used to be a tadpole, and now you're a frog, so you're already leveling up. Everything is relative. You're on the come up, and I like it. DZ, did you get knocked back last night? Moving on, DZ looks like a Fed. Hey, everybody, let's go to the Capitol. We're going to the Capitol. We're going to the Capitol, and make sure you hit that like button because that's all DZ has today. Everybody, it's been fantastic. Thank you for joining. I'm not wearing the hat. I'm going with the Chrome Dome. All right. Let's get it. You're being patient. Rest easy. We're all being patient. I should just leave.